What progression do you feel Anno Domini High Definition reflects for the band?
If you are familiar with our previous albums, with this Trilogy, the 3 albums we put into Trilogy, for sure you can see the evolution of the band. I mean, since the beginning of the band, we are, I'm saying progressive, but not saying about the kind of music we are playing, but about we are progressive to our skills, to what we are doing since 10 years. So I think every fan of Riverside can notice that since the first album we did kind of progression, each of us. So first it is kind of progression being in a band. I mean, composing new songs, progression in that way. So I think playing with the same people for almost 10 years makes you know each other better. You know, every day, every month, every year. So the way of composing is, I think, sometimes easier. Of course, sometimes it's work because there's not all the time that you have ideas to put together for the new song. But I think knowing each other is kind of progression, you know, and of course progression also individual. I mean, playing more shows, because if the band is more popular, you play more shows. So playing more shows is also kind of progression. I mean, kind of mental, because, you know, we're not kind of band where each of us is kind of stage monster, you know. For me, it was the playing in a band which can bring 1,000 people to the show was really, how to say, I was scared about that. So it is also, if more show you play, more, you know, sure of your skills you are. So it is also kind of progression.
Does the new album also represent an evolution for you as a guitarist?
My way of playing is kind of playing melodies, you know, simple melodies which listener can remember. You know, you can. It's not some complicated solos, but kind of these melodies. On the new album, I play more riffs than this kind of melodies. So, you know, from that point, I made more skills in playing kind of riff stuff than melodies. But as I said at the beginning, each of the new album is kind of progression. So I treated this one also as a progression, because we never played like Anno Domini High Definition before. So especially we wanted to do some kind of album which we can play on kind of rock festivals, because before that we had something like just the mellow stuff, the long songs, typically progressive rock or even art rock style. And for example, like we played with Dream Theater tour, we played on Monsters of Rock Festival in Zaragoza. We played on the same stage with Slayer, for example, Motorhead, and this kind of bands. And we didn't have songs like really rock songs fit to this kind of festivals. So, you know, we wanted to record this kind of album full of riffs, not like full of melodies or, you know, acoustic guitar or something like that. Each thing you are doing in your career, it is kind of progression, of course. When you are doing it really honest and it is really passion for you.
Now, the concept of the album focuses on liquid modernity. Explore what that means to you.
Mariusz has his own, meaning of this concept, because he's he's the lyric author of all these concepts. So he has a lot of meanings for that. But for me, it means, I don't know how it works in, for example, small cities or villages, but first I see some kind of really big rush. Like, I live in Warsaw, which is the capital of Poland. Sometimes when I'm hanging around, I see people all the time in a big rush to something, to career, to especially to career. But sometimes, even if they have really free time, they are also in a big rush. And everything what mankind is developing now, it is something like we need tools to be faster all the time, like, faster internet, better equipment, like TVs, like everything what is connected with kind of new technology. And I think this kind of concept is also about that. And I understand this concept like that.
Describe the creative process the group engaged in when putting this record together.
We are not kind of band meeting, for example, for a month in kind of studio and playing day after day to compose a new album, for example, like a lot of big bands is doing, for example. But we work with meeting 3 times a week, kind of regularly, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, week after week, and it is kind of our idea for how the band should work. Of course, composing it is a little bit different, because sometimes Mariusz brings an idea about the song. Sometimes Michał or me, or sometimes we just are jamming on the rehearsal and trying to find the new patterns or new melodies we all like, because we have some kind of idea in the band that if somebody says that he doesn't like something, we're trying to modify it somehow, or we're just skipping it. So it is kind of idea that we all need to like idea of the song to build it or to compose it, So I think it's the main idea about how the band Riverside works.
How do you continue generating interesting new ideas for the group after a decade together?
That's difficult for sure, because sometimes you need to be in the exact time and exact place. Each of the band member should have, the same mood to composing. So it is really difficult to put 4 people into the same vibes, for example. And I think it is there is no something like cure to or some kind of idea to change it. If something is not going on, you need to push it for a while or skip it, so I don't know. I remember, for example, composing the new album. I mean, Anno Domini High Definition. It was like I don't think we were 100% happy about the previous album, Rapid Eye Movement. Of course, we think it was a good album, but something we were not 100% sure about that. Especially that the finishing album was really difficult because of the Dream Theater tour, and we were asked if we want to join the tour, but we were also at the end of the mixing of the Rapid Eye Movement. So we need to do everything in a big rush. So they said not everything we wanted to do, we had time for that. But with the new album, since we started composing new songs, it was like we knew that the ideas we had in this time were really great, and it was like we were meeting in the rehearsals. We had big smiles, and it was like the record was composing by itself. Sometimes it's like that. So I think the main thing is kind of vibe. If you have it, it is really easier, I would say. I don't know how works really big bands, like Dream Theater, because I think they are closing each other in the studio for 3 months, and they say to each other, we need to compose a new album. But of course they are really great musicians. Maybe for them it's easier because of the skills of everything. We need to have time to compose, not different way, just.
Provide some insight into the recording process behind the new album.
First, the 3 albums we recorded in the same studio in Warsaw. And they had a kind of specific sound because we recorded all the time with the same people. And with the new album, with Anno Domini High Definition, we changed the new studio in Poland also, not in Warsaw. Maybe because we wanted to change sound, because on the new album we wanted to change almost everything we had in the past with this Trilogy albums. Mostly we start with recording kind of demo tape. We play all the songs together and then think about some ideas about main plan for the recording. So on the first 3 albums we recorded on the Pro Tools, and the last album we recorded on the Logic Audio, because the producer, the sound engineer we recorded with was familiar with Logic Audio, and the studio we recorded was whole studio was in Logic Audio mostly. So we record mostly like multi-tracks. The instrument after instrument. This demo on the studio we record like 100% live, but it is not of this. Nothing from this recording is then used in the main recording. So we still recording and feels better with the kind of multi-track recording. Maybe because in our music it is a lot of changing of the setups, presets in keyboards or guitars. So mostly these things wouldn't be really cool on the 100 recording. Of course, our skills are also not so good to record, whole songs from the beginning till the end, like whole band live together. Yeah, I know that there's a lot of bands that are recording a lot of things live, like section, for example, drums with the bass. But I think this kind of recording for Riverside is good only for recording this kind of show. I mean DVD or show recording, but not for recording new records. For now, of course. I don't know, maybe it will change in the future.
What are the main guitars you focused on for the record?
I recorded mostly on the Mayonnaise guitar, Mayonnaise Cetius model. Especially because for now these are guitars I have kind of endorsement, and I play these guitars. I like them first because this is Polish brand, I'm not a rich person, and I don't have opportunity to have all guitars I would like to have. So kind of endorsing was really helpful for me, because I could have really good quality guitars, and I didn't need to spend a lot of money for that. But when they proposed, when they asked me if I would like to play my guitars, I checked them first, and I think it is really good brand. Especially I would like to I want to have the mahogany guitar, and the Cetius model is it is mahogany, and the sound was really warm and kind of deep, which I really needed for that. The brand is the Maya guitars, especially they are really great in doing bass guitars, because they have a lot of models made of different kind of woods, and really much more models of the bass guitars than the guitars, just 6 strings. Because for the 6 string guitars they have 2 models, especially the Cetius and Regius, and as I said, Cetius is kind of this is mahogany guitar, and as I said, sound is deep and warm, and for that I use also Polish pickups called Merlin pickups, and it is also with the Cetius guitar I use active pickups for this guitar. Sounds, I think, really heavy, and on the playing on the neck pickups has also this kind of really warm sound for playing kind of solos or clean guitar. And the second model is called Regius, and I also have one of that. For the beginning, I had 3 different kind of guitars. I asked them for that because I wanted to check some things I never could reach. I never could buy. So it was with the one guitar I had also sustainer pickup from Fernandez to check how it works. With this Regius guitar, for example, I had Fishman acoustic pickup, electroacoustic. So I never also had something before. So this company, my own, gave me opportunity to check some kind of the new things I never could reach.
What effects are most critical to your sound?
I would never could play the guitar without a delay, for sure. I think it is kind of effect which is necessary to my guitar playing. And the second thing, it is volume pedal. I think it is a really great thing, especially Ernie Ball, and it is, I couldn't play guitar without these two things. But I need also say, because my whole system is made also in Poland, I'm really, how to say that, patriot about my stuff. Because I play Polish guitars, I use Polish pickups, and my whole system is put together by one company. It is called Mark L. And the guy is really great about building guitar systems. Because, I always wanted to have something like, with the one press of the button, I change a lot of things in my system. I didn't want to play like having a lot of stomp boxes and doing some kind of dancing, because in the same moment I need to change, clean or distorted guitar, reverb, delay, or other stuff. And this guy helped me a lot with this kind of solution. I could play, with the one press of the button, I change all setup, all the presets I wanted to use in the moment. So it is also a really great thing. But I use, for now, I use Eventide stuff for the delays, for the effects. I think it is really good brand. The effects are really good quality. The sound is really great.
Are there any guitarists that inspired your approach towards effects?
Of course, I always liked the style of David Gilmour. He used a lot of delays, especially in this kind of clean rhythm guitars. Doing a rhythm with delays a lot of times, and of course The Edge is also really great inspiration for how you can use delay in the guitar playing. So I think these two guys is kind of inspiration how to use delay, and why delay? Because delay is giving a lot of space in the music, some kind of things, vibes, which makes me, happy about I am playing guitar.
What's your philosophy when it comes to soloing?
It has to be simple, because as I said at the beginning, I'm just a simple guy playing simple songs and playing simple on a guitar, and of course I'm impressed by a lot of guitar players playing, using a lot of skills, playing different techniques. I'm really impressed by Steve Vai, for example, for his way of playing. But one day, many years ago, I thought that first I'm kind of lazy person, Maybe because I didn't find somebody who could help me with, I don't know, with the way of practicing, or didn't show me the way of the guitar playing, because I'm, how to say in English, I learned playing guitar by myself, and I never thought about myself that one day I will be in a band, and we'll play, record the albums and play shows in front of thousands of people. So, probably because of that, I never concentrated on playing the guitar. Once I started with the music school of music in Warsaw. It was kind of private school of music. I was, I think, 20 or 21, and I didn't know people or the teachers in the school, and it was really I didn't care, who will be my teacher. And I unfortunately, I started with the guy who wasn't really interested in teaching somebody how to play guitar. He was more involved in his own things, like he was a show promoter. He did jazz shows in the place I was having my guitar lessons. So it was like he gave me some kind of song, and he said, "Yeah, you need to practice that." And he went out for an hour, and it was kind of a lesson we had, So, in fact, I couldn't stay at home and did the same things at home because for the hour or 2 hours of lessons, I was, alone, and in fact, nobody was saying me if I'm doing things good or bad. Or sometimes he was canceling the lessons. So after a year, I said, I pay a lot of money for that, and I don't want to do the same things, for next year. And I left the school because I was angry, for this teacher. And probably because of that, I never reached something like I need to practice to be better, And one day when I find out that people like what, the way I'm doing that, I just thought that, it is kind of my philosophy, I will not be a kind of guitar player like there are hundreds or thousands playing the same things. How to say that? I don't know, 5 years ago, some people, when we recorded the first album and then the second one, some people said to me that you are not the great guitar player, but you have something like your own style, which we can recognize. And I thought, yeah, maybe this should be my philosophy of playing. Of course, since that moment I'm practicing more. I'm more focused on improving my skills. But I'm 35, and of course, guitar playing is not only one thing I'm doing in my life. So I can practicing 1 or 2 hours a day, but not 8 or 10, like I could, for example, when I was teenager. But now I need to concentrate also on the family or different things, so I don't have 10 hours per day to practice. And of course, I wouldn't like to spend 10 hours on playing the guitar, it's different. As I said at the beginning, I'm lazy also. So my philosophy is now to play what I've learned, what I can play, what I really feel. That's all.
This is the band's 4th album, and it's precisely 44 minutes and 44 seconds long. Talk about the decision to be so precise when it comes to numbers, as well as choosing to make a vinyl-length record.
On each album, Mariusz did something, kind of plays with the numbers. So all Trilogy albums had 3 words in the title. All Trilogy albums had 9 songs. So with the new album, Mariusz also decided to have kind of concept with the numbers. And first, it was because it was 4th album, so we thought it would be funny to have 44 minutes, 44 seconds when you put it on the CD player and you see 4 fourths for the same, the same numbers. It was the first time. And of course, the second reason was that for sure we wanted to do this album quite short. We wanted to, if this whole album could fit on one vinyl record, not 2 but 1, like it was in the past. So first we wanted to have it short. For a while we thought also about doing just 4 songs on this album. It would be also funny probably, but it was not possible. If we do that, probably it would be a really different album. So we needed to change this idea about 4 songs into 5 songs album. But the main idea was to have 44 minutes, 44 seconds because it was 4th album of the band.
What can you tell me about the core theme that informs the trilogy?
It was kind of story about the person who has problems with himself, with living. I think a lot of people has this kind of problems to be accepted by the people around, and it was like on the first album that he was really shy, he was really scared about life generally, about people. On the second album, he decided to change something because he didn't like himself in this. So he thought he will change. He will be change like 180. How do you say that? Totally different. So he was shy. So now he decided to be, like sure of himself, brave. But with all those change, he forgot also about that not everything is not only how to say that not only what people can see is important. It is also important what do you have inside. And when he changed, when he was shy, but how to say that, brave. He changed also what he had inside, because at the beginning he was kind of sensitive person, and then he changed like kind of monster, you know. So, and on the third album, it is kind of the end of the story with the guy. He finished. In fact, he finished in this point. He starts from, you know, the end was on the point of the beginning, kind of circle.
You recently said you believe rock music is finished. I'm curious what you meant by that.
I think, you know, that it was because of, you know, even if we try to compose some things, a lot of times when we do kind of a new song, me or somebody else has a feeling, you know, oh, it sounds like, I don't know, Porcupine Tree. Oh, this sounds like something. Oh, this pattern I know from Metallica or a different band, you know. My opinion is that, you know, kind of connecting the chords, it is everything done on the hundreds of different ways, you know. Because we are not changing the music theory. We are not giving more tunes into the scale or something, you know. Tunes you can connect in a kind of mathematical way, you know. So there's a lot of bands since, you know, 60s, when the rock music, 70s, but late 60s, when the rock music was at the beginning. It was the beginning of the rock music. There's such a lot of bands since then that, you know, probably every kind of connection of the chords or melodies were done by somebody, you know. And I think, you know, we are just copying some kind of patterns, but of course in our own way. So I think, you know, also the new impression I have that music itself, not just rock music, but also kind of pop music or different kind of musics are now the main subject is production, not the music itself, but how it is produced, especially in the studio, how it sounds, not the music itself. So I met a lot of young people with the first opinion about the new album of the artist is not about the music, but about the sound, how it sounds. I know that people need to compare some things, but if you are a fan of music, if you listen to a lot of music, different kinds of music, with all the new bands you can find some kind of things, you can find it in the music. So I think that's why I'm thinking, you know, that rock music is finished. But of course, I'm not saying about the genre of the rock, because probably it will live forever. But about, you know, about that everything in this music is already made, you know, and we are just copying what was done in the past.
You mentioned Porcupine Tree. What are your thoughts on the band and Steven Wilson?
First, I enjoy him as a composer, as a brain. I think he's also kind of specific guitar player. He has his own way of guitar playing, which I really like. But first I see him as a composer, as a producer, and I really like his art. In absentia is one I really enjoy, and I think it is the one who changed sound a little bit. They became a little bit more heavier, but this album has really great songs. Voyage 34, which is for me masterpiece, like a kind of really trippy music, and it is because about this LSD trip, and it is really great album.
Some people might be surprised to learn Riverside only became a full-time band just a few years ago. Tell me about that journey.
This is the point that we still play and that we still exist, and we want to do that because we are mostly we are. I'm 35. Mariusz is 35 also. The drummer Piotr he's 40 this year. Michał is the youngest one. He has 28, but still, we are not really, teenagers. And the music is the kind of the profession we choose 3 or 4 years ago. Until the time we did Riverside as a kind of hobby, and we did our jobs, and we met 2-3 times a week, playing since, for example, 11 p.m. to 2 or 3 a.m. and next day on 8 a.m. we were doing our jobs since 8 a.m. So when we decided to do Riverside, it's because we started to play tours in Poland and tours outside. And in Poland, you have just 26 holidays per year. So for 2 or 3 years, we spent our holidays for playing shows with Riverside. So, in fact, from the one job, you were changing to the second job, because touring is also kind of, you like it, but still it is a job. You need to travel, you need to set up your own stuff, you need to play a show, and then day after day. So for 3 years, I think we didn't have something like holidays, really. So I think it's kind of a word, you say that sometimes when you are, stubborn and you want to reach something, you need to work. You don't need to give up, because we are 35, and as I said, we have families, and it is not like rock and roll and nothing, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, because of course it's fine, but when you are 20, of course, some people live with that sentence for the whole life, of course, but I think we are kind of people responsible. I love to spend the time with my bride at home also. Like, I really like touring, and being a rock star somehow. So everything needs to be in a correct balance. And, having a 35 years and living from doing music in Poland, it is kind of, I would say, brave thing, you know. So that's why I really admire the people who are crazy about our music, because I know I have job, you know, I have income. People will come on the shows and buy our stuff and will listen to our music.